name is Manny Cabrera. Um, I report live here and just things that are on my mind, usually revolving around art and all the things that encapsulated in my life. That's why the channel is called From the Capsule. It's just my understanding and my perspective on the things that are happening. And haven't been on here in a bit. Haven't even done any drawing. I still have been drawing for my career. I'm a tattooer, so uh, the art has still been flourishing, and I've still been building on that. But this morning, I just wanted to jump on here and just spit a few words. Hope to get some listeners. Stacking this event with a morning talk because today's realization, and I can never get up early enough. I'll be honest with you. You know, I got a couple of kids, so early in the morning, I kind of got to get them ready for school, and that entails, getting them dressed, feeding them breakfast, and then as things that I do around the house, I kind of try to keep my house kind of tidy. So, making the bed, doing the dishes, tidying things up. Time gets consumed. My mom said that one time, long time ago, and it resonates with me. And I say it to people all the time. It's like, as soon as you realize that time isn't moving, it's got its track shoes on. That thing is moving fast. You really, really got to be diligent to take advantage of the time, especially nowadays, because nowadays it seems like so many distractions and so many things to do. You know what I mean? Like pick one. People have so many choices of things to do, myself included. And when I speak on this channel, it's most of the time it's just what's in my head. When I say people or situations in society and things like that, it's I'm speaking about myself because I'm not a special character. These are just the things that I feel and kind of how I interpret them. But yeah, it's one of those things, and I'm going to touch on another point. And the reason why I wanted to get this video out is just like, if I wait for the perfect time, there's kind of no perfect time. And times recently where I've found like that motivation where I'm thinking like, man, I really, I really feel motivated right now to talk about this. And I'm not in the space, you know what I mean? I'm like at the gym or, I'm in the car with someone having a conversation. I'm like, man, this would be like a really good live conversation. But just not the time or the place, I would imagine. Or, for me to just like pop up, I'm having this conversation with this dude and just be like, hey, let's live record this. They're not into streaming or anything like that. So I'm not going to impose that on anybody. But yeah, time. There's never a perfect time. Hey, good morning. Never a perfect time for you to kind of get the stuff going. You gotta just start and keep it rolling. If you I can see back when I was on the beginning of this video, I kind of didn't even know what to talk about. But now I'm finding my footing and talking about time. And I've been wanting to make this video for quite some time now about like giving people their roses. I find that it's so uncommon, especially in my field, to like give people praise. Like, someone does well, someone does a really good piece of work, someone does a really good tattoo. Dude, like you can see that like the guys that are working towards a common cause to get better, that are really focusing on their craft, those guys are all in the comments and they're saying, hey, what's going on, guys? How are you? Thank you for joining the chat. And they're like, hey, fire, that's good, man. You really did a great job. And then there's certain people that just won't give you your flowers, dude. They're not gonna comment on your stuff. They're not gonna say it's nice. And um on another note, as far as like out of social media and in real life terms, I just had a brother-in-law that succumbed to a very crazy illness. Like, I don't want to put his business out there like that, but he got diagnosed and within a year he was gone. He had perished. And he was a really good guy. And he was like one of the last people that I would imagine that would have got sick and died younger than me, you know, early 30s, mid 30s. And I, all I can say is that you don't know when you're going to have another chance to see someone and give them their praise and make them feel good about themselves. And believe it or not, that makes you feel good when you're in that mind state. When you're in a mind state that you're good enough and you're feeling well enough to give people their flowers and tell them like, hey man, you're doing a great job. I see you. I was at the gym with my nephew yesterday, and I seen this older gentleman. I don't know if I can take a rough stab at it, maybe in his 60s or something like that. He did say he was retired, and I seen the guy doing all these mobility movements. I seen him doing push-ups, pull-ups, dips, you know, body squats, stuff like that. And I approached him. I said, "Man, I see that you're in it for the mobility. Good job, man. There's guys half your age, a third of your age that can't do those movements, and they'll go ahead and say it's, they'll blame it on something else. Oh no, it's because they're hard, or I don't do that. These guys do these one rep maxes and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, I had to give that dude his flowers. I had to tell him he was doing a great job because honestly, all in all, there's plenty of people that I see that, hey, how are you? Thank you for everybody for joining in the chat. Have a, I hope everyone here has a great day. Um, I appreciate you listening and taking time out of your day because that's one of the topics that we're touching on today, and how time is so precious and how you have to kind of use it to your advantage because it's never going to stop for you. And to use the times that you have available to you to do the things that you want to do. Hence, do the commenting and giving people their flowers and telling people how good of a day they've had and how good they look today and how you see them and how you see them progressing. You know, I have clients that I'm constantly telling them, I'm constantly coaching them through, like, you're sitting great, you're doing great. Like, they're like, oh, they might give me like a little, oh man, my butt hurts, or man, I need to stand up. Like, always tell them they're doing great because they are. They're giving you Michael 2105. Thank you. Welch Goblin. Thank you. Fans of Bang. Where are you? What am I doing? I'm just going for a slight walk. The premise today was, like, I was battling as I was going to drop my kids off at school. I'm looking at the time, and shortly, like, about an hour or so, I gotta go start getting ready for getting to the studio. And I'm like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna watch something? Am I gonna read something? Am I gonna And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go for that walk and I'm gonna shoot that live. I'm gonna stack these, and just get both of them out of the way and work on me, work on a little bit of my cardio, get a little bit of this vitamin D pause this morning. I feel like I work best and I feel best when I kind of get this morning walk in and just get a little bit of sun on me, sun in my eyes. Um, I do I do try to do workouts basically every morning. They're not hyper intense as they used to be, I would say, a couple years ago, but it's definitely something to get me going. I just definitely do at least 30 minutes. But then I'm stacking it with this walk and also with this live stream. So just trying to play Roblox. Do I look athletic? Oh, well, thank you very much. I try. I try as much as I can. Soon as my daughter's 7. So soon as I had her, I knew that health was very important because I kind of trying to stick around for her, and it just kind of caught on like an addiction, and I've been at it ever since. So everybody, again, I appreciate everybody. Can you do a backflip or a cartwheel? I'm pretty sure I can do a cartwheel, maybe a back handspring. I used to be able to do back handsprings, never a full backflip, never like a just one jump and flip. But again, I'm just kind of trying to reiterate everybody to take advantage of the days, take advantage of the time, because that's the only thing you possibly can do. There's a lot of things you can't control. Most of us have to dedicate a good amount of our days to working, which, takes that time away. But try to use the time that you do have to your disposal to actually do the things that you want to do. Because I find that even over time, sometimes you want to melt into the couch or whatever, or you kind of just want to burn time. Hey, good morning. You kind of just want to burn time, but those are the times where I feel most guilty after, after the event. Like, man, I could have done this, I should have done that, or whatever the case may be. So there's um there's something to be said about that. People think, or yeah, people thinking, when, like I said again, whenever I say people, I'm really speaking the Japanese eat all the time. Whatever considered eating horse. Oh, I'm not sure, man. I'm not completely opposed to it, but I don't have any pets. I used to have a cat, but cat turned into a dog and just like destroyed my house for a while there, and I had to make a judgment call. And I found him a really good home. He lives right up the street at a friend's house. He lives at a bird sanctuary. He's living his best life. But I was living in a condo, and I don't feel like he was getting enough exercise. So I kind of gave him I made that judgment call and gave him a better life. But again, guys, take what I was touching back on that subject, the vices. People think that a vice is just like either drug consumption or like gambling or like overeating or like basically the obvious ones. But I think a vice is anything that you do and you instantly regret after you do it. If you're doing stuff, and I'm only speaking to the people that have the same mindset as me. So if you don't resonate with what I'm speaking about, I'm not taking any jabs at you. I'm just hey, what's going on, Tommy? Appreciate you very much for chiming in. If you don't resonate with what I'm talking about, I'm not like taking jabs at you. I'm just, you know, it's like a basketball player, like a basketball coach. If you want to be a basketball player, then take the advice. He's a basketball coach, so take the advice. But if you want to be a swimmer, then maybe find a swimming coach. If you want to be a politician, maybe find somebody within those realms, and they'll give you the advice that you're looking for. There's people that professionally play video games. So I'm not one to like downplay or judge anyone for what it is that they do. But I am speaking to the people that have the mindset like me that are like just hyper motivated to like get things done, um, try to be the best person that they can possibly be at all times and be proud of themselves and not look back or to look back at your days or your months or your years and be like, man, I could have, I should have. You know what I mean? Which is, I think a lot of people have that. Even those that are achieving. You know what I mean? Like they could have went that extra mile. But if you do everything that you say you do, you're keeping your word to yourself, which builds self-respect and self-confidence, and then it allows you to portray that and give that back to the world. Um, so anything that you're doing that you're immediately uh, finding that you're like, man, I shouldn't have done that, or I could have used that time better for this. Maybe I shouldn't have eaten that, or maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe maybe I shouldn't have went that way, or maybe I shouldn't have said that. Those are just as bad as vices because um the self control and the control of being able to abstain from um the immediate wants. Delayed gratification is one of those things that's going to lead you to better places, if you ask me. You kind of just have to be the person that says, hey, this is what I want. These are the things that I have to put in place to get that. And I'm going to continue to do that. You know? So again, guys, I'm not going to go too much on this. This is like I said, it's just wanted to stack this on my walk. I've done one of these before. I think I did this with the meta glasses at one time when I was trying those out. But the message for today is, use your time appropriately. Use your time for the things that you find are going to bring you the most benefit, because time is one of those things that you can't make more of. Um, you can make more money, you can get more friends, you can eat more food, you can sleep more hours. Can't make more time. Time is one of those things that it's only provided to you once, and sometimes opportunity only shows itself once. Um, you know, I'm reading slightly reading a book right now. It's economics 101, and it talks about opportunity cost. Opportunity costs through time, right? So sometimes you're doing something and you're like, well, this isn't costing me anything. It's actually costing you the time that it's taking you to do it. How much is that time valuable to you? Is what you're doing a good trade for that time? I guess it's a question for yourself to ask. Again, guys, give people their roses, tell people they're doing great, acknowledge those around you, build those up around you, because that's only going to help you in the way that's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you want to work a little harder to be able to feel better, to be able to do that for others. Um, you can see that in philanthropy. You see people that have achieved so much, and then they just they find a point where they're giving back. And I know that a lot of times it isn't 100% like, hey, I'm just going to give this stuff away. There is some benefit to that person that's giving it away, whether it's tax purposes, whether it's reputation, whether it's